5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Big hello to everybody. Welcome to the channel. And
if you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club.
Monday
Hooray!
Club for everyone. Big hello to everybody. It's great to see you. I hope I find you well. And today, unfortunately, we begin with the really sad news that one of our long-term members, one of the Monday Club crew, Somerset Andy, has sadly passed away. So in honour of Somerset Andy and his amazing generosity and contribution to the community, we have got the Class 47 that he actually very kindly sent into the channel a little while ago now. But we have got that running on the Intercity Rake as a memorial to the generosity of Somerset Andy. And we're really sorry that sadly he's passed away. And our condolences do go out to his family. And of course, an awful lot of us did know him. He was a frequent contributor in the chat, also a great YouTuber. And I know that quite a few of you may have known him personally as well. So really sorry to hear that news. Heard last night and then had it confirmed this morning. So sorry. But today, what
There are a few people that said, can we have a moment's silence for him?
Yes, we can. So just a moment of silence there as respect for one of our great Monday Club members, Somerset Andy, who sadly has passed away. But today, what are we going to be talking about? Well, it's been a busy week, but not necessarily model train related. One of the things that you will see going round is the all-new Pennsylvania GG1. Well, it's new to the to Weir Yard, and I think it took a wrong turning somewhere in Pennsylvania on account of the fact that it's
here.
Yes, it's on Weir Yard. But this is a model that you may have seen it crop up on a number of videos that I made for DCC Concepts quite some time ago now. And it's one of the models that they have had in stock for a very long time. They do actually have a large number of Australian outline diesel locomotives and an assortment of diesel and steam US outline locomotives. Although the one electric locomotive that they had, I bought it. So that's the Pennsylvania GG1 that's going around. Certainly an incredible locomotive, dating back to the 1930s, and you can see the sleek, futuristic for the time lines of that Art Deco style, and it's like nothing else I've ever really seen. It's a Bachmann model, and it does have sound, so I'll give you a blast. A lovely horn on these. I do love the horns on the American locomotives. But as well, what else do we have running? Well, the Somerset Andy Intercity Class 47 is just going across your screens now with the 10-coach rake of Bachmann Mark 1s. Actually, though, there's a couple of Hornbeat Mark 1s in there as well. And it just romps away with that. Really good performer. Although Bachmann, of course, have updated the model, did win an award at Ali Pali for the all-new updated Class 47. Now, I would be reading comments, but at the moment...
We were just asked by Wobbler Productions what happened to the membership join button underneath the video. And nothing.
Nothing. It should still be there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where... Let's just... Oh, an advert. What a surprise.
So I'm going to put the link into the chat because it should be there.
Should be there. So a big hello to SHGP Media, Iron Horse Railways, Tim's Model Railways in different videos, Francis Wadsworth, Cameron Patterson, Flammer Chairman 1, Josh's Railway Adventures, Bo Minnick, Egg Rider, Valleys 56XX, Ruben Ashwell, Zach Farnworth, a big hello to you. Stevie Film says Penn Railroad at one time had a gauge of 4'9", and that's a bit different, isn't it? Robin Silver.
That does seem a bit odd.
Robin Silver says, I painted my baseboard grey. It's always worth painting your baseboard a base colour, if only it stops any sort of bare wood seeping through in any gaps where you might miss on ballasting. Actually, I normally use like a dark chocolatey brown colour. Now, Warbler Productions has become the newest joinee to the Jenny Kirk membership. Thank you so much. And of course, becoming a Jenny Kirk member gives you early access to the Friday videos, ad-free. We set it up so that it's without adverts. I don't think YouTube actually puts adverts on those, which I
can't guarantee whether they don't.
Yeah, we can't guarantee, but we specifically don't. It also gives you an assortment of additional emojis in the chat to use, and you get a natty green colour. Although anybody who's a mod, the blue tends to take, does take precedence. So if you're a mod, you will remain blue, but you will get an additional icon after your name.
Yep.
Big hello to Alex Dent, who says Somerset Andy passed away. No. Yeah, unfortunately, this was the sad news that we began the Monday Club with.
Yeah.
That a long-time contributor in the Monday Club chat and very, very generous YouTuber certainly sent us the Somerset Andy Class 47. It's a Bachmann 47. Has sadly passed away. So really, really sorry to hear that. But big hello to Dundee Road. Great to see you there. Ruben Ashwell, Valleys 56XX. Francis Wadsworth, Oliver Gilson, who says, big question for me, Hornby Q6 or C-Class Bachmann? Tell me. Also, R.I.P. Randy, we will miss you, lad. Absolutely. The Hornby Q6 or the C-Class from Bachmann? That's a bit like trying to compare chalk and cheese. They are both actually really good models. I really do like the Hornby Q6. I've got one in plain LNER black, and I'm not really quite sure why I bought that livery, but I did. It's a lovely Stellar Performer, and I keep my eye out for a BR liveried version. I do want to grab one at some time, but they do command a really good price. Now, the Bachmann C-Class, this is a locomotive that I have got 4 of, all strangely enough, in Southeastern and Chatham Railway livery.
It's almost like you like the Southeastern and Chatham Railway.
I like pre-grouping liveries, it has to be said. Warbler Productions says, Andy was someone who reached out for help last year when a lot of us offered to help him. I had him as a friend on Facebook following that request. RRP Andy. Samuel Ives says C-Class. Stefan Svensson, big hello to you, says, the famous designer Raymond Loewy was the man behind the final looks on the GG1. That's the Pennsylvania Railroad GG1 that you'll see going round.
It's a big one.
It is actually.
It's a chunky monkey.
So what we're going to do, I'm just going to change the angles.
Yes, Jenny, once again, you've managed to change the angle to an angle that doesn't have any locomotives on it.
Now that you've finished your little spiel, everybody can enjoy the Pennsylvania Railroad GG1 heading by. Now, if you're wondering about the significance of the Mark 1 horse box that's straight behind it in Southern Region Green, the reason for that is I'm using it as a coupling converter wagon. A bit like, if you remember, way back when Hornby 00 produced one after they'd just been taken over by Triang, which had the Hornby 00 Pico style coupling on one end and then the tension lock on the other, so that you could mix and match.
Oh, that's a good point, Jen.
What?
The Hornby that we have now isn't the original Hornby, is it?
No. Oh, you don't kick the keyboard, otherwise you might accidentally break things.
Didn't mean to. Right. But yeah, it's not
I
the
think
original.
some punishment is
Don't make my belly wobble like a bowl full of jelly.
Iron Horse Railway says it's a match wagon. Kind of, yeah. I've basically used a NEM-tailed KD coupling on one end of it that goes into the NEM pocket, and at the other it's got the slimline tension lock. And that allows the Bachmann US Outline Pennsylvania Railroad GG1 to haul the UK stock.
You've got a signal converter, essentially. You've got NTSC to PAL.
Nerdside represent over there.
Absolutely. So what were you saying about Hornby?
I do like the Q6. It's a great model, but the C-Class from Bachmann is also a great model. The two locomotives were built for very different purposes. Now, Warbler Productions has immediately spotted the TARDIS, said by the transporter wagons. I thought that was a really good location where nobody would see it, but obviously I am...
the keen eye of the Warbler Productions.
I think he's got us on something like 80 inches of plasma on his wall. So
wow, you must look weird on 80 inches.
Ooh, weird.
I'm not this big in real life.
Funny enough, people always say to me, when they meet me, and I have this everywhere I go, people say, you're a lot taller in real life. It's like, yeah, I'm sat down. Here I am sat down. And also, there's not really anything that kind of gives me a sense of scale. Except here we are. This hand is one of those giant foam fingers that you, you know, if you're at a baseball match or something. So
no,
that
isn't.
just gives a sense of scale.
No, it isn't.
Tim Davis, hello there. Train Guy 2022 says, Jenny, are you considering joining the Hornby Collectors Club? Now, I've talked about Collectors Club membership before now, and I tend to oscillate. I've been in the past members of the Daypole Club before that closed. I was a member of the Hornby Club before now, and the Bachmann Collectors Club as well. I've been a member of on and off. I'm like an irregular member. At the moment, I am actually a member of the Bachmann Collectors Club.
You're a very irregular member,
yeah,
aren't you?
and one of the reasons I did that was so that I could get access to the other side of the velvet rope at exhibitions. And basically what Bachmann do, if you're a Collectors Club member, you flash your membership card, and one of the perks is if you at a show, Bachmann have this big stand that's like this huge square, but inside it is what they call their VIP Collectors Club lounge. So you can go in, and it's not a really nice quiet area where you can get a closer inspection of models. They have a couple of layouts in there as well, just small ones demonstrating stuff. And it's just a good place to go. I think they give you a bottle of water as well, so if you're really thirsty at an exhibition...
you pop in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had something like that at the Conservative Party conference. Every time I went, if you were an MP and you joined the MPs group, which pretty much everyone did, or you were a councillor and you joined the Conservative Councillors Association, which pretty much everyone did, then you flashed your pass and you got into an area that was separated from everywhere else, where you had some sofas, recharge sockets, and
I'm guessing that all political parties have something similar.
Because let's face it, sometimes if you're high ranking like an MP, you want to get away from everyone else.
Big hello to Houston WHAP, says good evening Jenny, Zoe and everybody in the Monday Club. Hemel Down Model Railway, big hello to you. Charlie McGowan's in as well, and B2000 RO Toys channel. Obviously great to meet you as well, back in the Doncaster show I believe it was, if I remember correctly. Says, hi Jenny and Zoe, I've built a gauge 1 scale Scarloey prop replica, and now I need a face and some Trying Princess Royal valve gear.
Why do I know the name Scarloey?
Scarloey and Rheneas, the narrow gauge locomotives from Thomas the Tank Engine.
That's it, because I was just editing a video for you, yes.
Were you? Which one were you editing?
The one from that event we went to at Stafford Barn.
Have we not put that out yet?
I was only editing it the other day.
Oh, we have put it out, have we?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So it's like,
shows what I know.
There. Oh, speaking of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh.
Don't you have something that you're sending to the museum?
Ah, yes, at Statfold Barn. We had a chat with the one of the gentlemen from the museum at Towyn on the Tallaght Railway, and one of the things that they have there is the contents of Reverend Audrey's study. And they have a kind of a museum with a lot of stuff to do with Thomas the Tank Engine. And at Statfold Barn, I got talking to them. And one of the things that we have in our vast library is I've got a first edition of 3 railway engines, and that in and of itself is quite nice, but it's something slightly different. Mine is a Welsh first edition, and these obviously are quite a lot thinner on the ground, and I offered to donate it. So just in the process of organising to get it to them. It's not in great condition, it has to be said. Now, I saved it from being binned in 1984, so you can imagine it led a hard life up till then. But I've offered to donate that, so you will be able to see it at that museum in the future. We've got Posh Dan, hello to you. Charlie McGowan's Patrick Hill Station. Wiven Model Railway says, I'm a member of Backman and Hornby. The Hornby Club gives 10% discount buying direct from Hornby. Very useful. One of the other things buying direct from Hornby as well is they tend to honour the price it was at when you actually placed your order.
That's good, because if anything changes, you don't suddenly find yourself on the hook for more.
Harry Sedgwick says, hey, the Class 47 Intercity was hauling with Intercity Swallow Train. My favourite. Absolutely, and as we mentioned at the beginning, we've got that running in honour of one of our dear members with us from very, very early on the Monday Club. Sadly, Somerset Andy's passed away, so in memory of Andy, we've got the Class 47 that he very, very kindly sent to the channel that we have featured on and off since then. So we've got that running tonight as a last-minute swap from when I found out, unfortunately, he'd passed away. I swapped it in to the items that are running. Now, we've talked about the Pennsylvania Railroad GG1, the Class 47. We've got a Bachmann 264 tank, a 4MT tank, 80053, a Bachmann 2525095, and a Hornby Class 8, which I think is D3509. Those 3 are doing the DCC Concepts ABC shuttle. And then final locomotives running. We've got a Hornby Duchess of Montrose. It is actually sound fitted with a TTS sound chip, quite a good one in that. And that's running with the KR models Concert Iron Ore Rake. And then on the innermost line, at some point you're going to see it sort of go past here behind me. We've got a Gronk. Gronk
it up.
Gronk it up. Gronk it up. We've got that going round.
We're not a cult, honest.
No, we've got that going round. That's actually a Bachmann Collectors Club locomotive. One of the other things Bachmann Collectors Club do is they release models that you can only buy if you're a member of the club. That's actually quite an old one. And running with that, because somebody last week did ask about seeing a Peckett running, we have got the Hornby B2 Peckett in NCB blue livery, and that's doing the rounds on that line. So I'm going to see if I can... oh, there you go. You'll just see them now coming into shot on the left-hand side as they go up the 4% gradient on the innermost line. Yes, Posh Dan says TARDIS on the left. I'm sure Warbler Productions, yes, says TARDIS on entrance to Fiddler Yard. Stevie Film as well got in there, TARDIS by Bridge.
Just say,
a big hello to Wardle Road as well. Great to see you too.
Can I just say, the Knock figures, I'm looking through their catalogue, they have a figure of a Superman with an N on it, so it's like Knocker Man.
Oh yes, yeah. So this is what, for those who are perplexed, this is what the Cupboard Monkey is talking about.
Knocker Man.
That's actually there's
That's really cool.
We've got a Knock catalogue actually. We picked that. Where did we pick that up? Was
Rails of Sheffield.
Rails of Sheffield at the store reopening day, and really really good. I do love all those Knock figures.
They're so personality.
Oh yeah. Now somebody did ask. I did spot it, and then Zoe talked all over me, so I didn't get round to actually addressing it. But somebody did ask about advice for somebody just starting in the hobby. And one of the things I always say to people is when you start building your layout, you do need to have a jolly good think about things such as like functionality, and also I think it's really important to think about how you're going to wire up your layout. I've seen a lot of first time layouts where people kind of rush to get the track down, rushed to do the scenery, and then realised actually the electrics are somewhat lacking. I always recommend as well, go to the effort of fitting point motors. You won't regret it going forward, and it's much easier to fit them at the start rather than waiting until afterwards. EC Idaho says, Mr. Neutron! Mr. Neutron for the knock figure.
Yeah. Talking of figures, though, that fountain. Jen, we need to try something like that as a project. Look at the water effects that they're putting on.
Oh,
there.
yes.
They've got a fountain with what looks to be like Thor on it, with a sword and shield, though.
No, Winged Messenger. That's
Hermes.
It's Hermes. Well, Hermes or Mercury. It's either Hermes or Mercury.
Yeah.
So really interesting.
But it's got water coming out of the spouts on the fountain. It appears to be done with Nox stuff.
Child Chimp, big hello to you. Malvern Junction says, I'm looking out for a Class 153 and GWR Green on eBay. Haven't had much luck yet. Yeah, sometimes it's just really hard to find the thing you want. I've been hunting for a long, long time, and actually I did manage to get a Class 25. Why is that stopped?
It's not Hermes or Mercury. It's a Valkyrie.
Oh, is it? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
I didn't realise that under the armour were breasts.
Joe Smith says, don't mention knock. I've bought around 30 figure sets in the last 12 months.
Oh my god, I can see why.
They are brilliant. And they do a special edition structure. Usually it's like a card kit with either lighting and sound effects or some kind of movement effects. Every year. They are a bit expensive, but...
Yes, that one that you've got in the corner, the Geister House.
Yeah, the Geister House.
I
don't know, is it on this camera? I think, yes, so you can just see it. If I get the pointy stick of doom, and just... is that...
Nope.
Am I... There?
Next to the tree, yeah. That's it, yeah. That took me almost 24 hours to build.
You're not supposed to admit that you built it. You built it in 3 pieces, then the final assembly was done for Great Model Railroad Challenge.
Exactly, which of course means that it's completely within the rules.
Child Chimp says, will you be visiting the Making Tracks exhibition by Pete Waterman in Chester this summer? We don't have an immediate plans, but never say never.
Never.
Warbler Productions points out Roman version of Hermes was Apollo. Of course, yeah, Apollo.
Was he?
So it was Mercury, or was that the Greeks?
I honestly don't know.
Huh.
They're all interchangeable. Because the Romans nicked all the Greek gods and went, right, we're going to rename them and then claim they're ours. The Romans were the first version of the internet.
I must admit, actually, can I just say, the early Christians went, oh, we like this pagan thing, Easter, that you've got. Well, they didn't call it Easter, but this pagan thing you've got going on. We're going to
Could you just look away a second? Cough. Right, it's ours now.
Yeah, we like your Easter Bunny thing. And eating of chocolate and Christmas as well.
The pagans didn't do the Easter Bunny thing. It's the festival of Estara.
All right, but then also Christmas. Can I just say that
Christmas is Saturnalia, basically? Yeah,
it is. Yes. Because the census would have been. When would the census have actually been? It wouldn't
after the harvest. So it would have been September.
Yeah, so actually September's probably when he was born.
All the best people are born in September.
Shut up. Ben Tollett says, hello Jenny and Zoe, I've pre-ordered the new purple train from Hornby that was once known as Tor Valley. And yeah, this is one of these things where I think a lot of people, it's polarised people. Some people say, oh, it looks horrible. But they've sold out. Can I just say?
Yeah. Was that a word?
Yeah,
how do you spell that? How do you spell it?
Well, it's how it's spelled. But I forgot what I was going to say now. You keep butting it right, Tor Valley. What I have to say is that they made, I think it was 1,500 as announced. They may have increased that due to popular demand. But it is sold out everywhere. So, like it or loathe it, it's certainly proven very popular. And it is only a temporary livery change. According to Warbler Productions, it'll be back in green after its 10-yearly overhaul.
Yeah, but It's been that colour now, so there you are. It's part of the history.
I like this. Russell Benton says, it was stupid having a census at Christmas. I mean, hotels would be full. Nigel Cole says, the Greek god was Hermes, same as the Roman Mercury. So
Yes.
Romans were... So who was Apollo then?
Pretty sure he's a...
He
Isn't
might
he
be
god
in a...
of war or something.
No, that was Mars. Oh, what's that up to? Oh, it's being naughty.
Ares. Ares was the god of war for the Greeks.
Ares.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the ram, wasn't it? Ares is the ram. Malvern Junction says 2,500 models Hornby is doing. And actually, one of the things I like about this is that Hornby have actually responded to the enormous demand and have increased that run. And I think that's great to see. Because what we don't want to see is the eBay gougers jumping in. So actually having the production run increased by 1,000 removes 1,000 people from the gouger market, and I think it's a really good move, and it can only be good financially for Hornby as well. Bo Minnick says it sold out twice. They moved it up to 2,500 and sold out again. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether they'll up that to 3,500.
Apollo was the god of archers.
Apollo was the god of archers. Or get out of my fields.
You touch my turnips, I'll beat you up.
And EC Idaho says, I think Apollo kept his name in transition from Greek to Roman gods. Ben Davis says, Jennifer, are you going to the Great Electric Train Show this year? Yes, I am planning to. Ian Parker asks, Jenny, can you reach the furthest track? I can just, but I have to hang on to, there's like a wooden post, which I didn't like to remove, because even though it looks a bit weedy, you know, you don't like to remove anything that looks
We think
structured.
it might be a supporting small piece
I
of
don't
wood.
think it is. I think it's more to do, because when I did the loft conversion, they'd had like a boarded out area which was surrounded by hammered together bits of plywood and scrap wood.
Yeah, you
and
can even see it in the first of the building the loft layout.
Yeah. But that remained. I painted it sky blue, and it's actually proven to be quite a handy thing to strap a camera to.
Yep.
So,
so this camera here...
Yeah, so this camera here is actually mounted to the wooden thing, which I grab hold of when I lean right across, and then I can just touch the Geister house. Just.
Don't touch the Geister house.
No.
It'll
Big,
fall apart.
big hello to J94, Spongate Junction, Matt Ovell, David Scott as well said I had to travel by donkey because the trains were not running due to Christmas maintenance. Yes, so what is that? Rail replacement donkey. B2000RO Toys channel says
Rail replacement beast service.
B2000RO Toys channel says when I was 15 I went to the Talyllyn Railway where I saw Audrey's creations. Too bad Christopher's wooden Thomas has been missing since he went to the US. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he lost it. It appears to have just disappeared. You know how things are. You're packing up after a show, and sometimes you
gone
think
walkies.
something's gone.
That's a shame.
But there is a replacement one. They've built a replica, but it's not the original. And it's doubtful that the original will surface again.
Sue at Putnam Junction says Billy's replacement donkey. Oh, absolutely.
Billy's replacement bus service. We need a bus with Billy's replacement bus service on it.
Well, maybe that'll be something for a future Monday Club release.
Jenny, is there something you want to say about Monday Club?
What, you mean the secret thing that you're not supposed to be telling anybody? Was that what you had in mind?
No, I just asked if you wanted to say anything about it.
There will be an announcement at some point in the future about a... well, okay, you heard it here, but I'm not giving any details. We're currently working on a second Monday Club wagon. The details will remain secret for now.
They haven't been confirmed.
Well, yeah, I've confirmed.
Details to be confirmed.
I have confirmed actually a lot, which I'm not going to talk about because it's something that will be revealed in due course.
Yep.
But certainly anybody who missed out on the first Monday Club wagon, don't forget that I did point out that Rails of Sheffield in their shop, now they're not listed online, but in their shop, And if you ring the shop, I'm sure that they'll sell you it and post it out. It's not a problem. But they did have 2 Monday Club wagons in the cabinet, and what they do is they allocate a number to shop stock for walk-in customers, and it's just there's 2 of them that were still there when we went to the open day. So if you missed out on the Acura Scale MDV Monday Club wagon and really do want one, then I'd just say you need to ring up the Rails of Sheffield shop, not the mail order, but the shop, and just negotiate to have them post it out to you. John JMC, big hello to you, says, evening all. Sorry,
hello.
Just got back from 5-inch gauge rally at Bath and West Showground. I did see the photos that you posted of those. I think there was a video as well, and really did look good. But remember that a Monday clubber is never late. And
A Monday clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins.
I said that.
Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Thanks, Gandalf.
Yeah, Gandalf, go back to rattling the bins, would you?
Okay.
David Scott, hello. Within Model Railway says the purple that Severn Valley Railway is used for the QE2 looks like the Cadbury purple. Now, I believe that the purple is the official royal colour for the Jubilee. So the colour just is that colour. It's not a case of, oh, they've got the purple wrong. They haven't. They're using the actual shade of purple.
It's a weird shade, isn't it? It's quite an intense shade.
Yeah, it's got a slight pinky mauvey colour to it. It's lighter than you might expect. It's not like the BR experimental purple, which I'm just looking at it up there. It's more of a blue. It's like a blue with a slight hint of purple.
Yeah.
Heart Filler Railway, big hello to you, says, Jenny, next goal is not a Monday Club wagon, it's a Monday Club locomotive. Just bear in mind that a locomotive is a big step on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but we can't afford to commission a locomotive because we decided to buy a house.
Yes, I'm sorry. We have all those lovely things like a house to live in and a car to drive to work in. And we have food on our table. But no, commissioning a locomotive would be a huge leap. So, never say never. But at this moment in time, it's simply a case of it's not currently on the cards. But we'll see what happens. Big hello to Sir Patrick of Furlong. Great to see you in. This is Billy's replacement Monday Club wagons. Peter Jackson says, put me down for a new Monday Club wagon, all 3, if it's N-gauge, LOL. Now, the trouble with N-gauge is that, unfortunately, you N-gauge modelers, you're 10% of the market of the 00 gauge models. So, if I order 1,000 wagons, then if there's 1,000 people in Model 00 who want them, then I sell them. But if I order 1,000 N-gauge wagons, and there's 10% of that, I only sell 100. So it's
a problem.
Again, never say never. And one of the things that we could try and look at is, I believe Daypol do a much lower production run, although it may mean that the unit costs are more. So what I would say is never say never. We do keep the option open for other scales, but at the moment we're concentrating on the 00, simply from a commercial point of view, because we can sell them all.
Yeah.
Well, at least we hope to.
The thing about, well, I always worry, but the thing about stuff like that is we really need to know that we might be able to not have our house full of this stuff.
So we've got Nick Gerolamo. Nick Gerolamo. And it says it's the Bristol Model Railway Show this weekend in Thornbury. Anybody going? I did see some posts about that. There's quite a number of retailers on the Facebook pages saying that they're going. Stevie Film says, conversation with, and Mark says, O-Scale Monday Club Wagon. Again, O-Scale, it's never say never.
Full scale.
A full-scale Monday Club wagon. Well, that would probably involve. I'd have to talk to somebody like Wardle Road, our well-known resident man who keeps moving up the scales. I'm sure he's going to go broad gauge soon just to get bigger. Worthington Model Railway says Pico make 009 tracks different from N gauge. Yeah, absolutely. One of the things we could do. Stuart Putnam Junction actually suggests maybe an N-gauge decal. That is something that we did talk with the Sampan Model Company.
Yes.
A little while ago, actually. I might revisit that and see whether that is something that we could do. Though Bo Minnick says a Dapol pre-grouping Monday Club Terrier. Oh yes, that's the stuff. But what would it? See, I do like the idea of that, but what would it say on the tanks? Would it be? I mean, Weir Yard doesn't really fit. You can have Weir Side, but it's a bit out of area. I don't know.
We'd have to think about it. Essentially, at that point, you're getting into the area of fictitious liveries. And
we didn't do that already on the Monday Club wagon.
Let me finish what I'm talking about. Now, I have no problem with that. There's a few places starting to do what ifs, and I really like that. But fictitious liveries is a bigger sell because yes, you could have a what if because that thing is established. This locomotive existed, that livery existed, and you're just putting the two together. But coming up with here's a tanker for a thing that did not exist at all.
Can I just say, Wardle Road, who is in the chat, says, I have maxed out on scales already.
No, you haven't.
No. Broad gauge, 7-foot broad gauge. I'm sure that you would find something.
Which is bigger, the 7-foot broad gauge or Brunel's?
Well, it'd be Brunel's, wouldn't it?
There you are. So you've got 2 to go yet.
Yeah. Charlie Chimp says, "Hey Jen, have you got any tips for modelling on a challenged budget?" Yes.
Second-hand.
Second-hand is certainly good. Also, new old stock. If you can find model shops that have had stuff in stock for a large number of years, and actually the Bachmann US GG1 is a case in point. Now, that model was new in 2013, but I've only just bought it from the shop that has been stocking it since then. So I got it at a really, really good price. And yes, J94, that is a GG1, Pennsylvania Railroad, GG1 number 4807. It's got some lovely pantographs, and actually the pantographs do work, apparently.
Wow. So how would you...
Oh, you'd have overhead line equipment, and you would make it out of metal, and you would actually be able to.
So you'd have to be really careful to turn it off before you start dusting.
Well, yeah, it's not going to be a mains voltage. No, we leave running model trains on mains voltage to a certain other YouTuber. It's that's in his wheelhouse.
Just when you're dusting across it, it goes. Done it again.
Although Warbler Production says all he needs to get a 2-foot gauge loco, he'd have plenty of places to run it. But he'd have to go. He'd have to go smaller. That's a bit of a grind.
Ollie doesn't go smaller.
No. It's like go big or go home. Ollie's not going home.
The only way Ollie would go smaller is if he put a model railway in his actual railway.
I'm sure he has plans on that line.
That would be so cool. I heard you like trains.
Or you could get an infinite regression. You could have standard gauge, and inside it you would have a narrow gauge wagon, which then inside that you'd have, say, a 5-inch gauge wagon, and then inside that you'd have a little model railway.
You suggest he does a Matryoshka doll.
But yeah, Charlie Chimp, to get back to talking about budget stuff, one of the things that I would say is that new old stock, we've talked about Hereford Model Centre a lot, and unfortunately, because I talked about how all these goodies that they still had in stock, they've actually sold out of everything that was like really bargain priced. But I have found stuff elsewhere from time to time, and we have done videos on that. One of the other good things that I will tell you about is there's a really great product that you can get from Woodland Scenics, which is it's like polystyrene, and you use that to build up your scenery, and you can buy it already made from them. It is expensive, but polystyrene can be got for free from shops. Now, if you go to somewhere, well, just give an example, in the UK, supermarkets maybe, but I actually got a lot from Matalan, which is one particular retailer, and they'll have stock delivered from the distribution centre, and they'll have some polystyrene blocks in just to space things out. If you buy a new TV, for example, there'll be polystyrene in the packaging. Now that you can cut up with a hot wire cutter, which you can get really, really cheap off somewhere like eBay, and you can make your scenery out of that, and it's free, completely free. It's really light, it's really strong. I would also say as well that certain things are more expensive if you buy branded for model railway stuff. So one of the other things is I use kiln dried sand for a lot of scenery work. I actually, on Weir Yard, it's what the ballast is. Now, I bought a 10-kilo bag of that from a builder's merchant, and what it actually is they sell what they call kiln dried sand, and it's fairly fine, and it's actually sold for, if you had the block paving drives, that you brush it into all the little gaps and it locks them all together, fills in all the gaps. But it's about £3 or £4 for a 10-kilo bag, and believe me, a 10-kilo bag ballasted the entirety of Weir Yard, did a lot of the scenery work on Weir Yard, it's done all the scenery work on Myneth Tatters, and I still have half that bag left. So you can get things from alternative sources which save a lot of money. Hobbycraft as well, which is it's a chain in the UK. I'm sure there'll be similar chains in other countries as well. Hobbycraft sells a lot of stuff orientated towards people doing hobbies. So you can actually buy Airfix kits, Woodland Scenics as well, Humbrol paints in there, but they do stuff for all manner of crafty things. But they sell great big, they're like 10-litre or 5-litre jumbo-sized things of PVA glue, and it's a really cost-effective way of buying PVA glue, which, when you're building a model railway, you will use a lot of that from. So there's a lot of ways that you can save a lot of money. Joe Smith says, we just got our house insulated. I got a 1-ton bag full of off-cut insulation pieces. Happy days. And yes, insulation, stuff like Jablite, which is a solid, kind of, it looks a bit like polystyrene, tends to be other colours other than white, although you can get white. That is a great medium for building things as well. And what I will say is that the Great Model Railway Challenge, if you ever saw Series 2 of that and you saw the team that I was on, we built a lot of our scenery out of that kind of materials because it was very cost effective. And if you get offcuts from a DIY job, if you know somebody that's doing it, if you see it in the skip, ask permission. It's always polite to ask permission. And they're probably like, yeah, take it, because it gives us more space in the skip. And it's really, really good. And Stevie Film does point out, though, that polystyrene is too flammable. Should use a fire retardant foam insulation. Yes, that's absolutely true. One of the things I would say, though, is if you're only using small quantities, then you're probably going to be all right. Also, J-cloths. Now, Alan Reynolds, one of our Monday Club regulars, was a big advocate of this, still is a big advocate of this, but he gave me the tip, and I've used it ever since. If you get those cheap blue and white check J-cloths, they get referred to in the UK, I'm sure they sell them in other countries as well. Really quite cheap for a big pack of these, and you use it with, you soak them in the cheap PVA and use that.
It's almost like papier-mâché.
I wouldn't say papier-mâché. It's more akin to a kind of plaster bandage. It takes a lot longer to dry. One of the things I will say is some of these things is essentially there will be a little bit of a trade-off. So compared to plaster bandage, which you are going to have to pay a lot more for, The plaster bandage, it sets, like, whilst you're there, you know, within a, like 10-20 minutes, it's set, you can move on. The PVA stuff, you might need to leave it for a few days, but it does save you a lot of money.
And it's really hard wearing.
It is, actually, yes. Cheap DIY filler from DIY shops, builders merchants, that kind of thing. Cheaper the better. You can get huge boxes of this for not a lot of money. And what I would say is you mix that up and you put a coating of that over the PVA and J cloths. I always drip a few dabs of brown emulsion paint in, mix that into the plaster, to the filler mix, and then your ground is brown to start with. And if it chips or you miss a bit, you're not going to get garish white coming through. So there's lots and lots of good.
That's just a good tip, regardless of what you're making.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things as well is you can mix a brown emulsion into plaster as well. Same thing. And Alan Reynolds, his ears must have been burning. Says thanks for the shout, Jenny. Regards, PVA J Cloth Alan in the loft in Dover. And yeah, 24 hours is good.
Yeah.
Soda Dan Demand says evening all, didn't get the notification for the stream. Oh my word, that's YouTube. Unfortunately, there's not really a lot we can do.
That's been happening a lot.
It happens to all channels.
Yeah, I'm on Question of Track. It's a quiz show on a Sunday night about Star Trek, and it's a lot of fun. But we have regularly people saying, I didn't get the notification, even though they clicked the bell. What's going on?
I don't know. And where's it gone? Peter Jackson says coloured tile grout seems useful. Luke Towan uses it a lot. Yeah, so there are other materials you can get in bulk from alternative sources.
Yes, other sources are available,
which are actually very much cheaper than if you're buying the actual sold for model railway purposes stuff. Plus, you get a larger amount. So there's a lot of ways that you can save a lot of money when building models. Recycling old layouts as well is really good. Now, Heart Philia Railway says, did someone say Star Trek?
Yes.
Oh, don't get us started.
Yes.
Nerdside represent.
But yes, if you like Star Trek, check out A Question of Trek on Sunday nights at 9:30.
Go on, put the link in. You know you want to.
Okay, I will do that.
Jerry BVR says kids' poster paints from the pound shop are handy too.
Yes.
Absolutely. And James Pets, I approve of James Pets. Says other sources are available. HP, for example.
Yes.
I wouldn't spread that on your scenery though.
Well, not unless you plan to eat it. Don't eat your scenery. Don't eat your scenery. Soda
Dandaman says, well, for Star Trek, it would be a communicator malfunction leading to not being able to beam up. Thank God I got a genuine metal comm badge and Voyager jumper.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah, the cupboard monkey is so we're in her wheelhouse now.
Yes, go ahead.
Andy81E says, great channel. I've just put my 15 feet by 7 feet model railway boards up for my first model railway build. Thanks for the info on painting the boards before starting to build. And what I would say with that is, again, get yourself down to a DIY place and just get yourself a big bucket-sized thing of cheap brown emulsion. Dark brown's fine. Just, whatever they've got in the discontinued, remaindered, selling off cheap places. And I know a lot of the DIY places, they'll have end-of-line stuff and they sell it cheap. Model Railway Noob recommends chinchilla dust for road textures. And
I can imagine that would be very fine.
Yeah, well, that's the point. And Tim's Model Railway in different videos. Yes, I do know of a song called Star Trekking by the Farm.
Oh, yes.
That's
it's life, Jim, but not as we know it.
Not as we know it. Not as we know it. It's life, Jim. It's not as we know it. Not as we know it, Jim. Ian Parker says, long night ahead, 7,000 LEDs to solder. Ooh. Heart Philia Railway says, speaking of Star Trek, I have an OO scale shuttle from Voyager, which I'm going to paint and crash back in time somewhere in my layout.
Oh,
because
that sounds
because
cool.
Being geeky rules. Oh, that is great.
That sounds fantastic.
Ben Tullett says, Jenny, good idea for Monkey Builds projects. Gets one of the Gauge Master Fowler Ford Hampton kits I built the other weekend. The loading ramp kit I purchased, and it was very quick to build. Absolutely, we could look
We
into
actually
that.
have some monkey builds coming up once we've got some
Yeah,
more
come on,
space and time.
Come on, you lazy guy, get them done.
Well, we've got the what is it? I want to say Dremel, but it's not, is it? It's not Dremel either.
Larry Rogers says,
what is it?
I use oil dry for my ballast. Looks nice and it's cheap. Absolutely, yeah. It's like
the Deltic.
Yes,
we've got the Deltic coming up.
So yeah, there's a lot of good ideas for products that you can use that are really effective that aren't necessarily going to break the bank. And Flymo Chairman 1 says, because we can't find reverse.
Start trekking across the universe.
Now stop it. Come on now, behave yourself. Right, Ruben Ashwell, we need to just get him moved. He's and I'm gonna
the
fish.
doctor is in.
Yeah. So there you go. Make yourself useful.
Okay.
Right. Soda Danderman says, and yesterday I've started building my N-gauge replica of the Reverend Audrey original 6 foot by 4 foot Farquhar layout. Oh, lovely. And I hope you all share videos and or pictures with us when you're making some progress on that. We'd love to see that. And of course, you too can send in the URLs for videos of your own work if you want to share them with us. Oh, excuse me, I'm getting hiccups from the beverage of choice, which is Diet Coke. But you can send them in to us, and please, please, please make sure it's the URL to zoe@zoerobinson.com. Excuse me.
The coughing isn't part of the email address.
No, I don't know how you'd spell that. And if you want to share those with us towards the end of the show. Now, don't forget to tickle that like button. If you haven't already tickled the like button, then do please. And also, please share us to social media. Let others know about the Monday Club. Phil Metcalf says, Star Trekking was the first single I got. Funnily enough, the first single I ever got was George Harrison's Got My Mind Set on You on 7-inch.
My sister's first one, Hello Beth, was Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini by Timmy Mallet.
No, it was Bomb Ballerina.
But it was Timmy Mallet.
Yeah, obviously. John JMC says, have I got any tonight? I don't know. Have you?
Anyone?
Videos in.
We may have.
We don't know. We have got some left over from last week. Plus, we've got a few extras coming. Exploring and Adventures. Big hello to you. Says, what route should? Oh, where's it gone? It just suddenly jumped. What route should I drive on Train Simulator World 2? Now, we enjoyed the Transpennine route when we played on a Train Simulator.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, and you got out of the station
every
at Leeds.
Every single time she has
in a class 45.
This.
We pull into Leeds, and then she gets out to have a wander around the station, and then there's this train slowly chugging past when we get to the end of the platform. And I said to her, "That's our train." I said, "No, it isn't. No, it isn't." And I said, "No, seriously, that's our train." And it was our train because she hadn't put the brake on. So we literally had to run down the track in Train Simulator and climb back into this class 45. And it's like, nobody batted an eyelid in the game. I'd have thought you'd have at least got some kind of a sanction for that. Valleys 56XX, one of our Monday Club members, says, my first single was Pinky and Perky singing carols in about 1969.
Wow.
Oh my word! I think I got Pinky and Perky records somewhere in my vast collection downstairs. I think it was a charity shop find or something, or it may even have been that I got gifted a big box of records and it was just in there. Sodor Danderman says, Timmy Mallet loved his show for kids and I ended up with a cockatiel because of his. Oh god, yeah, and he must be one of the few kids' TV entertainers not doing serious time for being a bit
dodgy.
Dodgy.
He's currently cycling around Britain and painting things.
Good guy.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Andy Brooks, another one of our Jenny Monday Club channel members, says, I'm going to build an industrial estate layout, but I want to do it. The track is in the road. What's the best way to do this? And what's the best stuff to use? There's several different ways you can do it. A lot of people do recommend DAS modelling clay, which I think I've got some somewhere down here. Somewhere I've got a block. I can't.
Phil says, I wonder if I can make scenery out of Magic the Gathering cards. Just make sure you don't use any of the expensive ones. You should be alright if you're just doing land.
Right, anyway, so what I would say is use things like scrap card or scrap balsa wood is very, very good. Just to bring the ground level up to around the tops of the sleepers. And then a lot of people do recommend DAS modelling clay. You can buy it from hobby shops. It's really, really great. It's like a terracotta-y colour. And then you coat everything with PVA. That's important to help it to stick. And then you kind of just smooth it in. And you can cover the track with it as well. Build it up. Now, you've got to make sure that you still got the where the wheels are going to go. But it's a really good way of doing it. And then you can scribe that if you want. Another good way of doing it is I like the Metcalf cobble sets. They're the embossed cobble sets. Now, again, bring the ground level up to the top of sleeper height with something like scrap balsa wood or card, something like that. And then you just glue these in. And a top tip to stop them from sort of going bowed as the glue soaks in from underneath is get a little tub of water and a paintbrush and paint the tops with water. And as the water soaks in the top, it counteracts that tendency to curl and they go back flat again. So a top tip for you. But then if you dirty up your rail heads, you can use a pencil, actually, a soft graphite pencil, or just a wagon with dirty wheels. Rub it on your track, and then if you line up the embossed card over the top of the rails and just firmly rub where the rails are, when you turn it over, you will see an outline of where the rails were on the back of your embossed card. You can now use them as a guide to cut with a pair of scissors, and then you will have a perfect fit for the embossed card from Metcalf, do really good ones, over your rails, and they will butt up to the rails. Perfect. I've done it on Weir Yard over in the far corner. I've done it on the Great Model Railway Challenge layout, the War of the Worlds one. I used that technique, and it's really easy, really effective. There are other ways of doing it, and one thing that if you do have the budget, it is expensive, I will warn you now, but Tillig do a range of inset track, and it's intended primarily for modelling trams, and there's some really complex junctions that they have, but it's all inset with the check rails, but you can run 00 trains on it. Works just fine. Really quick, really easy, really effective. They've got a lot of like you can have grand junctions, you know, where double track goes off in all different directions. And the road surface is all part of it. But what I will warn you is that that is very expensive, but very effective. So if you do have the budget, it's worth checking out. So there's a few tips for inset track. There's a lot of people talking about
the first albums,
first singles. Peter Jackson does point out as well that West Hill Wagon Works are doing a hard standing kit with sleeper chairs. Absolutely, we did share that on the Monday Club Facebook group, and if you join the Monday Club Facebook group, it's a great way of keeping up to date with stuff in between Monday Clubs, but also sharing progress on your own layouts and checking out what other people are up to as well. But yes, West Hill Wagon Works, it looks to be an incredibly good product. I had a really good reaction on that, so well worth checking out. Warbler Production says TARDIS sitting on the signal gap. Oh, it is as well. You be careful. You've already broken that once when it used to be out.
So you know exactly how to fix it. Hold on. No!
Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
Not my big flabby belly. No.
Oh dear. Anyway. Charlie Chimp says, I've just watched the Model Railway Challenge. I was really impressed with your expertise, speed and quality of the scenery you did. thank you very much. And of course, it's one of the things that certainly myself, Les Cliff as well, we work incredibly quick. I put it down to basically being really impatient. We just want to get it done. But we do work quite quickly. But certainly, thank you very much. It was great fun doing that. And I guess that, the watchwords are that great scenery doesn't have to be hard to produce. And there's some really quick and simple techniques that we try to show in Great Model Railway Challenge, but also I've got a whole series of videos on my YouTube channel about which show you just how easy it can be to get some really great effects. And one of the other things as well I should also point out is that War World Scenics, the static grass range, can't speak more highly about it. But actually, really, really impressive stuff, and really easy to make some great static grass. Right, Heartfilia Railway says I'm too young to have a first single. Well,
no,
hold on,
they're still around. You just have to download them now.
Can I just say I was 7 when I got George Harrison's "Got My Mind Set on You." And I still remember how I got it. It's a 7-inch single, and I won it in a game of Pass the Parcel at a child's party. And when I say child's party, I was one of the children, and I won it in Pass the Parcel. And and yeah, they had to pad it out with a lot of scrunched up newspaper. And it was a proud possession. Still is. Still got it.
For me, my first single was probably around '94. Status Quo and the squad of Manchester United.
Oh my word. Malvern Junction says, I think if the Great Model Railway Challenge comes back on TV, you should be the judge next time. Yay! Absolutely. I would love...
Judge Jenny.
I would love to be the judge, and I think, it's something that not a lot of people know. I did audition, did try an audition to be a judge on the series. Now,
series before
even series 1 got going. What happened was, quite a few people sort of sent in show reels and stuff.
Yeah.
But they picked Kathy Millett, and I didn't even get to go down to London. There was a few people got through to go down to London. One of my friends actually got to go down, but she had the gift of the gab.
So sometimes that's what you need.
That is what you need. It's why I've never ever, as far as I can remember, got a oh no, I tell a lie. I have had a job through an interview, but I was headhunted for it, so it would have been embarrassing not to get the job. But I don't normally do very well in interviews. But
did you get head shrunk? To quote, absolutely fabulous.
Yes. Right. Patrick Furlong says, can you ask Zoe if my new title can be Lord Treguard, please? Oh, that's Nightmare, isn't it?
Sorry, you want a lordship?
Charlie Chimp says, speaking of TV, I'm currently watching Oh Dr. Beeching in the evenings. It's a hoot. I love old shows.
Oh, Jenny has an issue with Oh Dr. Beeching, doesn't she?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Didn't it cause you to not get your show picked up?
Yeah, I mean, we're going way, way back to the start of my career. And I wrote, one of the things you used to be able to do back then is if you wrote a treatment for a 6-part sitcom. Actually, no, going even further back, I wrote an episode of a sitcom. It was an idea. I submitted it to the BBC, and they said, oh, if this is interesting, we need to see a treatment for 6 episodes plus the first episode in full to make a decision. So I duly did that, worked out what 6 episodes would be. I wrote the script for the first episode, and I started writing the other scripts as well. And then they rejected it because at the time, Oh Dr. Beeching came out. And that's tickety-boo, except it didn't do very well. TV companies got cold feet, and that was the end of that. So I've got 6 half-hour scripts for a TV series. J. Paul Anderson, a big hello to you. And yes, it is a GG1 that you will see running around here on Weir Yard. So see if I can pick it up. So you just see it in the top right, passing behind the chat. This is a Pennsylvania Railroad GG1. It does have sound, so...
Jenny.
Oh. And it's actually a Bachmann model. The box is actually here. I've just filmed it for a review. So there's the box that it came in. It was new in 2013, but this is new old stock, and we talk a lot about new old stock here on the Monday Club because it's a great way of picking up brand new items at a really favourable price, because with the ever-growing march of inflation, and certainly that's been quite severe over the last few years, it has to be said that it does mean that what you may have thought was really expensive back in 2013 is now comparatively quite good. And I got that from DCC Concepts, and they do still have in stock, even though they don't actively stock locomotives and rolling stock, they do still have in stock a few leftover items, which include some Australian outline diesels from a company called Haskell's at a really great price, DCC fitted for £99. You can't be robbed at that. I actually got one as well. Lovely locomotive, really reliable. Haskell's is a brand that I know the Aussie viewers will probably be familiar with that particular brand. But outside of Australia, these look amazing models, really, really reliable quality models. They also got a lot of stuff from Bachmann, MTH as well. They've got odd bits left, and certainly at really favourable prices. Right, anyway, Thunder Ridge Railroad says hello from Kentucky. Big hello to you, and a big up to our US contingent, and of course a big up to the Ken Patterson What's Neat This Week posse. And actually, I've just delivered another video for What's Neat This Week.
Was it neat?
Not What's Neat This Week. Yeah, actually, yeah, for What's Neat This Week, the monthly podcast. Actually, no, it's for the Model Railroad Hobbyist magazine. I do get them all confused together. And it's on tree construction. And just to give people an idea of the great things you can do with trees, here are 3 trees in 3 different seasons that were very, very quickly and easily made using, I actually used the War World Scenic tree kits, but there's nothing in these kits that you can't put together separately. So they are potentially really, really good ways of manufacturing a lot of high quality trees for what would actually amount to less than a couple of pounds per tree. And seriously, they're much better than the wire brush type trees that you can buy ready made. Or bog brush trees, as I tend to call them. Well, yeah, because they look like the head of a bog brush that's been covered in scatter. Right. Bo Minnick, I believe, has had to go. So good night all. Good night to you, Bo. And it's been really good to have your company. And don't forget, everybody, if you haven't already done so, then do please, please, please tickle that like button and share us to social media.
We'll be starting the videos soon as well.
Barnabas Junction, big hello to you. Mark Johnson says, hi Jenny, I agree with you re War World Scenic Static Grass. It is indeed good stuff, and I've used it to do both the grass on my layout and the grass that I've done on Alan Reynolds' layout. Ooh, I'm really looking forward to seeing that actually, progress on that layout. Alan Reynolds has got a really great layout. Great use of height, and certainly, of course, Alan Reynolds, the origin of the PVA J-cloth method, certainly on this channel. I'm still really, really grateful for him putting me onto that really cheap and effective way of actually doing terrain. Right. Tim's Mullerow says, I love On the Buses as well. Oh gosh, I haven't seen them for ages. Well Chuffed Railway says, oh, I'm late, missed the train. Oh, you seem to have also missed Billy's replacement bus service as well. But if somebody's late to the Monday Club, isn't there a serial bin rattler who seems to creep up and...
A Monday Clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
You're welcome.
Wamgok, big hello to you. I clearly missed you from the beginning, but certainly good night, guys. Hope to see you next week. Of course, it is a school night, it must be said, but good night to you. And of course, if there's any parts of the Monday Club that you've missed out on, then you can always catch up after the stream. The whole video stays up as an actual video.
So,
beverage of choice, Diet Coke. Just thought I'd put that out there.
Oh, hokey cokey.
So we're going to start at 15:15 with showing some of your progress and videos. So we've got a few more minutes left. Charlie McGowan, Patrick Hill Station. He's talking to somebody else. Robin Silver says thank you, Peter Jackson. And Pentel, it says thanks, Gandalf. Alan Reynolds says thanks again, Jenny. Next video is coming soon. Ian Parker has incredibly generously donated £2
thank you.
on the super chat. Thank you so much. And of course, generosity such as that as super chat and PayPal and such like is really gladly received, because it does help us to keep making the videos that you want to see. I have mentioned it a few other times. I am starting to film another TV series featuring model railways. Going to be doing some filming from June onwards, and also you'll see our resident jablight whittler Les Cliff will be featured in that as well. So yeah, Les, I know we mentioned you. Come on, you stay put under there. That jablight isn't going to whittle itself, is it? But thank you so much for your generosity, Ian Parker. I just want to
how's Les doing with his layout?
It's coming on really well, actually. One thing I would say is that if you follow Les Cliff on Facebook, he's come on in great guns with his layout room. It's gone from a sort of a down-at-heel garage, and how you would expect a garage to look on the inside, to being a fully functioning model railway lair. And he's really gone great guns, getting all the modules that he's been making up in there. And it's going to be triple stacked. So he's got 3 levels of model railway goodness in there.
3 railways, no waiting. Oh, he bought a Helix as well, didn't he?
He did, actually. I'm really quite jealous. Right. Stephen Cameron says, does anyone remember Strathblair? It was filmed on the Strathspey Railway using Black 5 number 5025, renumbered using magnetic number plates. They're great, actually. We had L plates for the car. When you were terrorising the world with your learning to drive. They work really well, actually. Melchester Model Railway says, hi Jenny, missed the first hour because of work.
A Monday clubber is never late, Jenny Kirk. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Right. Malvin Junction says, I have a Budweiser as a drink for tonight. Actually, I've got some Budweisers in the fridge.
But why, sir?
Oh,
okay.
that was a good advert.
Good.
Yeah, it was actually. Really nice.
But, no, not my belly. Not my big flabby belly. It's my one major weakness. No.
I do that for you guys. Right. Mark Johnson says, just couldn't help mentioning about the static grass. Belmont Junction says, if Zoe starts driving, I will use the footpaths. What makes you think that she's not driving on the footpath? Soda Dan
the real life isn't Grand Theft Auto.
It is when you drive. I mean, bins weren't safe. Bushes weren't safe. And it's like when you're doing 60 miles an hour on a dual carriageway and the car's going ga-ding, ga-ding, ga-ding in every single storm drain because she's like that far from the curb, and you're like reaching across and going, just let's move over a little bit, shall we? Oh dear.
I'd like to tell everyone I don't actually drive.
No, because of all the little things I just mentioned.
No, not because that's it. I started losing peripheral vision and I just don't feel safe.
She doesn't like driving. Genty Steam, big hello to you. Great to see you in. I hope you are well. Barnabas Junction. What's news? It's I think I'll come in halfway through a comment. So Malvin Junction says, Oh no, wrong one. Melchester Model Rise. Oh, I've already read that out. But yeah, actually, one of the things we did mention at the beginning, we will mention again for those of you who joined us late, is that sad news that one of our loyal Monday Club members, Somerset Andy, you might remember, has been a frequent contributor in the chat. Really good sort, a good YouTuber as well, and certainly has been generous with so many people, sadly passed away. So it was one of the reasons that we're running the Class 47 in Intercity livery that Somerset Andy very kindly sent in to the channel, and we run that in memory of an absolutely great individual who will be sadly missed. Ginty Steam says, I'm well, thanks. How are you and Zoe? We're absolutely well, thank you so much. And
we
Steve,
are now. Earlier on, we were a bit frustrated.
were we?
Tell them the tale of the monitor.
Yeah, I put a new monitor in Zoe's office, and it was a bit tricky to get it wired up, but we did in the end. Now, Stevie Film says, my son passed his driving test today. Clear the roads! Oh.
Congratulations.
Did you get protected no claims bonus on your car? Yeah, and Nigel Cole says, R.I.P. Somerset Andy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He will be greatly missed. Certainly, I know that his generosity, he did donate locomotives to other YouTubers as well, but certainly the Class 47 that we got running around, just seeing it there, going across the screen, he very generously sent that in to the channel a couple of years ago now, and certainly he will be very sadly missed.
Yeah, and our thoughts go out to his family.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to be starting showing some of your videos and pictures. So this is the bit of the Monday Club where you settle back with a beverage of choice and we see just what progress everybody's making. It's a really great way of picking up tips of from other people. And it's one of the things I always say is it's really useful to be able to just see other people's take on things, because they may well be doing something that you think, actually, that's a really great idea.
Yes.
And everything that we've seen on the Monday Club from contributions being sent in, we have always had something to take away and gone, actually, really like that. That is something that I want to incorporate in my own model making. And certainly it's something that I think, even modelers who, are quite advanced with modelling skills, we can still learn new things and go, oh, I never thought of doing that. That's
always
really
another
absolutely
way of doing something.
And I always say to people, it's like there's no right and wrong way of building a model.
Oh, I don't know about that. If you build it,
put all the stuff in a box and give it a good shake. Come on, make a model rail. Oh, it's broken.
Yeah. If you put all of your models in a bin and then roll that bin down the street, that's probably not going to come out well.
No, I think that's going to be... no. Ginty Steam says, Jenny, would you consider putting overhead wires on your layout? I've been asked this a few times before, and actually one of the things I would say about that is that they do make track cleaning really difficult, and I think they do obscure some of the detail. Now, I know some people do really effectively model electrified railways, and I don't want to take anything away from that, but for me personally, I prefer my layouts to be without overhead line equipment. And one of the things of that is that I have a lot of pre-grouping models, so obviously that's going to be something that really it's not going to fit with overhead line equipment. Although, not to take anything away from it, I'm always really impressed with the original Mark 1 overhead catenary portals that used to be on the original parts of the electrified West Coast Main Line. I do think that they're really quite chunky, got a great look to them, but they're not something that I would personally incorporate into my layout. But yeah, and I mean, I've got electric locomotives. So the GG1 is the newest acquisition. Looking a bit out of place here in the UK, but actually it's a great model with sound. I love that horn.
It's a very echoey, deep bassy horn.
And this is one thing I would say about this. In the grand scheme of things, I actually got this at a really favourable price because it's new old stock. But it's got DCC onboard sound value, and this appears to have been DCC sound that Bachmann US did for a while, some time ago. Which it doesn't have huge numbers of different spot sounds. I think anything above F9, there's just nothing there. There's no spot sounds I could find and play. But what it does have is some really great sounds. Right. And yeah,
Ruben Ashwell says he's pleased to announce that his Billy's replacement T-shirt has arrived.
Yay! And don't forget, you can check out the merch store down below. And funnily enough, does it look a bit like this one?
Ha
Billy's replacement cupboard monkey. Right, anyway, we've got the first one up. So this is Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends.
Yes.
Thomas from my collection. I see a couple of the steampunk locos at the front as well.
So this one's from White Wall Wheels, and if you would do the honours, Jen.
So frequent contributor to this section of the Monday Club. This is like a kind of streamlined, futuristic.
It's a very interesting look for Thomas.
Very different. I love the three-wheeler there and the flatbed wagon behind. And is that a TARDIS? Can I just say TARDIS? Or is it not? Oh, maybe it's not. So that's CCT. Yeah, it is. There it is. Just coming to focus. That looks to be one of the Hornby or Lima ones. Still looks pretty good for its age. But that locomotive, it is very interesting, almost Art Deco streamlining. And this is a really fun layout. We've seen this layout a few times.
Which episode is that from? A streamlined, super speedy Thomas. Because there's the standard Thomas in the background.
Yeah. Was there any text with this, or did you?
He said just a bit of fun.
So it might even be one that he's made himself.
It's a purple one, nice.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa, my word! Warp speed. All ahead. Ludicrous speed. Oh my God! They've gone to Played.
The streamlining definitely works. Look how fast he can go.
Oh, the old Hornby Pocket Rocket.
If he goes any faster, he'll go back in time.
I can remember when I was little, I used to have the Percy from Thomas the Tank Engine, and it was actually possible to get it to go fast enough to fall off the track for the centripetal acceleration. Russell Benton says somebody's melted Thomas.
Warbler Production says it looks like the Thomas from the film The Great Race.
Oh,
there you are. So it's Racing Thomas.
B2000 RO Toys channel says that's from Big World Big Adventures, and it's Turbo Thomas.
It really is Turbo Thomas.
That is pretty fat. Cool. Yeah. And Mark Holt, yes, you're coming through. Says testing, 1, 2, 3. Mark Johnson says thank you very much for your kind comment to your Hemel Down Model Railway. Belmont Junction said modelling is always a learning curve. It does not matter. Even the experienced modeler still picks new things up all the time. Absolutely. And Ginty Steam says Zoe should come in front of the camera more often.
No, it's the Jenny Kirk channel, not the I want to stay behind the scenes and just talk channel.
Peter Jackson says Back to the Future, Thomas. Yeah, if it gets up to 88, just disappears.
That was fun.
Thank you so much for that. Really did enjoy that.
Yeah, thank you for sending that in.
For sharing that with us. And of course, Sodor Dan Deman says can't beat Thomas. A great start for a lot of beginners. Yeah, I mean, for me, it wasn't my first train, but I did very quickly get a Percy. I only ever had Percy, and it got given away to a cousin, so I don't still have it before anybody asks. But I can remember saving up for a long, long time to get that. It was a big deal back in the day. And I seem to recall that you could only get either Thomas or Percy. They were the only ones that I remember being available. And I can remember at the time thinking, I really wanted Henry and Edward, but they just weren't available. And we were talking, this is early 80s. Ruben Ashwell, the streamlined Thomas is from a CGI special, The Great Race, which I've heard isn't too brilliant. People have been pointing out the David Scott Purple Tank Engine in the foreground. And Flymo Chairman one says, for those who we speak of Somerset Andy and wonder, there's the link to his channel. So certainly,
thank you for that.
He will be sorely missed, and our condolences,
really
of course, go to his family.
Okay, if you could do the honours, Jen.
Absolutely.
So this one's from A Train Too Far, a Portsmouth Harbour Statesman train tour.
Oh, did we see this one last week?
I don't believe we did.
No, but certainly we didn't. It's
So he said it. The tour starts at 2:25.
okay.
So I'm going to jump it on to that. And we'll come to
Russell
that.
Benton says
Ooh.
the only Thomas merchandise was an O-gauge Percy in my day. Used to be an advert in the back of books.
Wow.
I mean, I got my Percy in probably about 84, 85, something like that.
My goodness, that
Now I
train
think you
looks
can get
real.
all of them. You can even get Donald and Douglas. I mean, there's some.
Are you talking to Donald? Did you see at Rails of Sheffield the Disney train sets? You could get Mickey Mouse, and Minnie Mouse,
the
and
Brio,
Donald Duck.
the wooden Brio ones.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
So they were cool.
Warbler Production says, I managed to acquire a 1984 Thomas Deluxe set for my nephew a couple of years ago. Cost just about £150, but well worth it and still runs perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the Hornby mechanisms in those are just bulletproof. They really are. Oh, Pullmans. Oh, that is nice.
You do like a Pullman?
Are they Mark IIs or Mark... I think they're Mark IIs.
Robin Silver has an interesting question here. Should I glue my track to my layout?
You can do. Some people use something called Copydex, which is like a rubbery. I think it's like a rubbery glue, which does mean that if you need to remove it, it is possible to do it. You can actually use PVA to do it. Once you've ballasted, actually, it does keep it nice and locked in. It does mean then that you don't have track pins visible. I'm lazy. I tend to use track pins, and the track pins are still in my track. But in all honesty, once you've weathered up the ballasted and weathered up the track, you tend to not be able to see them.
Yeah.
So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's what you're most comfortable. And as Model Railway Noob says, Copydex does stink. So yeah, you've got to be careful of fumes, and it's something that with a lot of things, all DIY and stuff, especially, but if you're in an enclosed space such as this, you've got to really make sure that you have good ventilation. If you've got things,
Yes.
if you're using a lot of things with fumes, if you're soldering, if you're cutting polystyrene for scenery or jab light, anything like that with a hot wire cutter, just remember it can give off fumes. So do...
And you've got to be so careful.
Absolutely, painting as well.
Yeah.
Harry Sedgwick says the Statesman Rail Mark IIF coaches. So I was right, it was Mark II. SHGP Media says, did we not see this 3 weeks ago?
I'm not sure. To be honest with you,
This might be different. I don't remember this bit, but I do remember the beginning.
I don't remember this bit.
Stephen Cameron says, my club's Thomas layout had a Percy that went so fast at one exhibition it flew off the track and hit the whole window. Luckily, both survived unscathed.
Oh, now we get the inside.
the
This is
cab.
interesting.
It's always nice to see the inside of these things. It's nice as well. You get a driver who does let you take a look.
Yeah. The weirdest thing is, though, when I saw that set of controls, I kind of knew what some of them did.
What,
because
from
of
Train
playing Train
Sim?
Sim
Yeah.
World.
Timothy Kynard says, good video. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's good to see them up close. And of course, if you follow the link, you'll be able to see the video in full with the sound. Nice friendly driver. So there we are. Go on, put your foot down.
Beep beep.
Toot toot. 47593 Galloway Princess.
Is that a little Scotty dog on the side?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of depots had their little quirk. So the Scotty dog was... Oh no, the names just escaped me. But there's others as well, like the Cockney Sparrow. That they had... I'm trying to think what others. They're the two that immediately spring to mind. But there were other things like Finsbury Park used to paint the window surrounds on their locomotives white.
Wow.
SHGP Media says, yes, well, we did. It was just being polite. Jenny even said the same thing. Oh, Pullmans.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, it's been lovely to see it, though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's very nice. Yeah, the Cockney Sparrow.
Yeah, the Cockney Sparrow. Yeah, geezer.
They would probably call it a sparrow, though. Because Sparrow is quite a northeastern thing.
Eastfield, right? The Scotty dog was Inverness,
Right.
and Eastfield had the Cockney Sparrow because they were geezers. You know what I mean? Yeah. But thank you
let's
so
jump
much
on.
for that.
Thank you for that.
So
yes, that was really nice.
we're going to move on to the next video, but thank you so
Surrey Hill
much.
Depot, Scotty Dog, Inverness the Stag.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So there are quite a few of these. Finsbury Park did the White Window surrounds. Statford Depot as a Robin. Oh,
Nice.
the old throbbing Robin.
Robin.
I remember, no word of a lie, at a tractor pulling event, somebody had made a super high-powered tractor pulling tractor and put the body of a Robin Reliant on, and they called it the Throbbing Robin. Stephen Cameron says, is this the train that Rachel, the Angel of Crew, filmed? I'm not sure, to be honest. Haven't seen Rachel for ages.
Yeah.
Warbler Production says, TARDIS between high-level track and tunnels on the level... Yeah. I bow down before... Yes, it will be. So, this is from Martin Patterson, and it's a video of an S-Class saddle tank engine being brought back to life after 60 years.
Wow.
So, are we ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, here we go.
We're just waiting for it to go full size, and this is... It'll be a Triang, is it? Actually, it's quite a nice little model. I'm not familiar with this particular type, but that's quite a nice little, sort of pudgy little locomotive. But a lot of these old locomotives are really easy to bring back to life.
It's alive. It's alive.
Just a good service. And I did do a video quite a long time ago showing how easy it can be to revive suspected burnt out motors. And one of the things that makes these things stop working can be something as simple as a build-up of carbon muck between the bands on the commutator. And a good clean is sometimes all it needs to revert it back to perfect health. But it's nice to see these old locomotives revived like this. This also shows the beauty of a rolling road. Really great way of getting locomotives back up and running.
Yeah, you can just get them going like that. Very nice.
Nigel Cole says, Rachel, Angel of Crew, is around again. So tell her I said hi. I haven't seen her for ages.
Okay, if you would do me the honours, Jen, of pressing the button, because we've also had... Oh, thank you, Justin Fear.
So Justin Fear 1 has become the newest member of the Jenny Kirk membership. And of course, don't forget that being a Jenny Kirk member and gives you early access to the Friday video, advert-free as well. And it also gives you some exclusive emojis to use in the chat, and you get a natty green colour for your name in the chat. So thank you so much as well. And of course, your support is what makes it possible to keep putting out great new content here on the channel.
Jen made that little speech longer and longer because I was trying to jump in with the next bit of this video, because Martin didn't only send that video, you see, he sent some photos as well.
Ooh.
Please find attached the short video and some pictures of other models that I've made ready for Yorkdale. Hope you're all both well. Martin from Thailand, so let's have a look.
So we're bringing up some of the pictures. I'm going to bring us back to here, and so we've got a kind of industrial building here.
Yeah.
Really nice, and it's a really great
I like
way.
That the roof isn't all one colour.
Yeah, I also like there's a lot of intricacies with those roof vents and stuff.
Yeah.
And building stuff away from the layout. This is a great way that you can build stuff for your model when you're not actually at home.
Yes, you can make everything look exactly how you want, and then you can place it into the model. So,
big hello to Oswestry Road TMD, one of our Jenny Kirk members. And H. Walker Steam and Heritage Rail Vid says, just thought I would pop on, and sorry I'm late onto the Monday Club. Had such a busy weekend. Oh,
a Monday Clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks Gandalf.
So, Jen, here's a look inside the model.
Oh, so we've got an interior, and this is another interesting way that you can add an extra level of depth to your modelling. And funnily enough,
I like that they've got a yellow LED, so it looks like You know, the old style lights that weren't exactly bright and white.
Also, there's some. One of the things I do want to show you in the Knock catalogue is these interiors. I love the laboratory and the control center. I really want to do like an alien autopsy secret government bunker on the inside of a tunnel, so that when you run the camera train through, there's like all this weird stuff going on.
Yes, inside Jablight Mountain, and then all of a sudden we see the trundle, alien autopsy back onto the left.
Absolutely. So a really great range of like country farm style.
This really does look like a proper small hoarding. It actually reminds me of where one of my friends from school lived. Because of course I come from the countryside.
And then we've got an engine shed here. It looks like.
Looks really nice.
Really
nice.
Well. So Dan Demand says, Zoe, you shall not pass.
I shall not
that
pass
sounds
what,
like
my driving test?
Yeah, that sounds like what a driving instructor said.
You shall not pass. Whoa!
And I really like that. And there's something about dereliction that really works in model form. That is lovely. I love that with all the
still got a few tiles on the roof
and the rotten wood, and then that wall there. We've got one with the chimney breast in, but then the other one, and you can see the sort of rough edge to the slates and stuff. That is
so well done.
I love that.
That is.
It just shows that ruined.
Little sheep, I love it.
Moo.
Oh, has it learned a foreign language?
It has, yeah, and it's fluent as well.
And there's the video as well. Right.
So thank you so much for sharing those with us. Really enjoyed it.
That was fantastic.
And that ruined building, I really do like that. Absolutely nice. And Nigel Cole, thanks very much for passing on my regards. Phil Metcalf says, my son's Hornby Thomas kept stripping the teeth of the wheel gear.
Oh, that's a shame.
Ben Dullett says, I need to obtain a rolling road, so I have a few locos that need running in. And certainly, one of the ones that I recommend, and you can get them for multi-gauges, there's one of the O-gauge ones. DCC Concepts, really great, reliable, easy to use rolling roads. And basically,
you do like those?
I do.
Are they the chunky O-gauge ones?
Those ones are, yeah, but I've also got them in M-gauge, 009, TT, 00, HO, all these different, P4. So,
okay, that just went wrong.
Oh, have they actually attached it?
Instead of bringing it up on the YouTube page, it decided to try and play it in the email, even though I clicked on the link. That was just weird.
That's naughty of it.
Yes.
So Cameron Patterson says, good night to you. Cameron Patterson says, good night to you, Mr. Flymo. Cameron Patterson said, good night to you all from Glasgow. So thank you so much I had to scan back just to find the beginning of the conversation, but thank you for joining us. Don't forget, anybody who's not already tickled the like button, please tickle the like button, and also consider sharing the stream on social media to help us grow the audience. So did Danderman says, as a Welshman, I'm offended by the sheep. It doesn't look scared enough. Ian Parker says, looks like my bathroom. No roof at the moment. You raised the roof. And H. Walker Steam at the Heritage Rail vid says, I don't know what it is, but derelict buildings look scarily accurate but interesting. And I think that's it. It's the interesting. They're different, and that makes them interesting.
Yes.
And I think in terms of detailing and weathering, they're the perfect blank canvas. And Stevie Films says, BR were very good at dereliction. They were, actually. They were.
So next up we have, from Richard Twiderski, a 43049 Neville Hill and Jeff Drury.
They're HST, so it's 43049 and 43046. Neville Hill and Jeff Drury. At Beeston Stignall Box in Cheshire on the Devonian Pullman Rail Tour. Ooh. Come on, get it out, come on.
What?
You always say, oh, that looks really, really good modelling.
What? Well, it does. I didn't think I needed to say it.
It's also great inspiration for modelling scenery here.
Yes.
So you can see, one of the things I will point out is, look at the trees. There's a lot of empty space in trees.
And also, look at the sky.
Ooh, Ooh,
We always do. We always have that thing of
blue Pullman.
whoa. Yeah.
So the coaches there, that's the blue Pullman rake, but the HSTs are, well, the front one's in Intercity. I've not seen that in Intercity before. I like the signal box as well. And you see there, you've got the railway, a little bit of grassland, and then the canal. So there's some really great ideas for scenery.
But can I also say what I was saying? Look at the sky. We always put a lot of blue in our skies, don't we?
But welcome to Britain, grey and horrible.
Yes, overcast.
Yeah.
That is really cool. He's done some great photography there.
And Jennifer Garrett points out that Jeff Drury saved Blue Peter and Bitten from a BR, basically saved them from being scrapped. So
wow.
That's who Jeff Drury was.
Right.
And 156 Andrew says amazing Midland Pullman HST. I've never seen it with the Intercity liveried one on the front actually. So I'm wondering if that's deputising for one that's in for maintenance.
I know.
So
okay, we've got one here that Gmail has decided to say, oh, be careful, it might not actually come from Charles, but it's clearly from Charles. And
but it did.
All his photos. So, that's fun. So we've got here 4 photos of activity at Wesley Tor Railway on Easter Monday.
Right, okay, so just bringing that up. Ooh!
Wow.
Again, look at that static grass clump in the middle. That is really nice. And the weathering too. There's a lot of nice subtle weathering, and the ballasting. Ballasting is one of those areas. I think a lot of people are scared of ballasting, but they don't need to, because you look there, you can get a great effect so simply. I think I need to do another ballasting tips video.
It's been a while, yeah.
It has been a while, and I want to update on a few of the little tricks that I've learned since then. But that is really nice. The Locomotive, in case you're wondering, is a terrier. I'm going to put that out there.
Fair enough. I just love the colours and texture.
I like the water column.
And the light. Oh my goodness, it's
and there's like so much going on. You look at the detail, the detritus between the track, the vegetation. Really, really nice. So, next slide, please.
Ooh.
So we've got a pair of O2s, I think they are. Again, look at the amount of greenery. The way that nature just sort of covers everything.
Yeah, even on the ballasting, there's a little bit of greenery.
SHGP Media, referring to the last video, says, yes, you are correct, Jenny. One of the Pullman 43s is broken and has been deputised by other HSTs over the last couple of months. Right. Soda Dandaman says, am I still the only modeller not using static grass? No, there's quite a few.
Lots of people who don't.
But certainly, I would say I am a big advocate of static grass. I didn't used to be. I used to poo-poo it. But once you've tried it, you never go back.
Yes.
But, you know, it's... I originally built all the Weir Yard with no static grass, and then I added static grass afterwards. So you can add it at a later date. It's not a problem.
If you decide to give it a try, you can do it. That is a rather interesting image as well.
I like that. And you've got
look at the way the light is kind of making it seem like fog's coming in.
Absolutely, and I like all the stuff on the platform too. Really nicely done. Some really nice railings as well. Really, really nice.
A lot of busyness, which I think actually helps a lot sometimes.
I like this. The signal boxes have been really nicely painted and finished.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that you can set a time period on your layout by how you paint the railway buildings as well.
Yes, because every single era has its distinctive set of colours. And it's rather cool. We were talking the other day, we saw a car or something, and it was in a particular green, and we both of us looked at it and went, that's 50s green.
Oh yeah, it was like a green and cream, but it was that sort of mint green, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Which just screams 50s. And it's like
that signal box sort of says, I would say that's late 1940s, early 1950s.
Right.
Could be wrong, but that's what it says to me.
Fair
so
enough.
next slide, please. Oh, one thing I would say about that is the mortar. I have shown on some of my videos how to get the mortar courses, but there's some really easy techniques to do that on embossed plastic kits.
Oh, and Les did a brilliant one on that you know, that winter layout you did, where we just got some white acrylic and rubbed it in.
J94 says, I had to static grass my model railway club's OO gauge layout for my first go. I did okay. Absolutely, and it's one of the things I found about static grass is it's actually really, really easy to get great effect.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you very much for sending those over, Charles. That was
really
wonderful.
did enjoy those. Thank you so much. Although Ian Parker says, bought static grass 2 years ago, still in the bags. H. Walker in the Heritage Rail vid says, do I spy an Adams tank? Possibly, actually, if I remember correctly. I think there is one on that layout. So we've seen quite a few shots from that layout, and always enjoyable to see.
So what we've got here, Stephen Harrison Green has sent over a few different videos, and I'm going to take one because we're trying to get through a lot. The Smokey Joe World Speed Record. Now,
Right, and there'll be a lot of contenders for this because they are universally regarded as being quite sprightly.
Yes, so let's see what we've got here.
So this is from Hillchester Model Road. Do you want to make that full screen?
I am pressing the button now.
Okay, you pressing my buttons.
It's a very short video, so we might run two.
So this is Hillchester Model Railway. Oh, I like the sign. The sign. Oh, warp speed, Mr. Zulu. Oh, that is a lovely layout.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
So was that the world speed record? Do we need to see it again?
That
was actually quite cool.
That was actually. Well, hold on. Let's have a look at some of the other videos.
Yeah, it's only 20 seconds, so let's go for another. Which one would you like?
And the third one there. Let's got it out.
This one, the diesel thrash.
Yeah, go on then. Let's have that one as well.
Okay.
I'm enjoying these. This is a lovely layout. We have seen this layout before, and there's a lot going on with it.
Okay, so this is more like a standard layout that we would play.
Right, so we're just waiting for it to load in.
Super focus there. Here we go.
Alan Reynolds says, static grass is my biggest hate for me in railway
The computer just crashed. What is going on here?
I think we're saturating bandwidth and stuff. So, again, look at the trees. This is something that we've got a tree making video coming out from Model Railroad Hobbyists. Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, always take your inspiration from the real world. When you look at trees, there's a lot of empty space in them. Just saying. So when I did making trees, I did a tutorial for Model Railroad Hobbyist. So there you are.
A tutorial or a tutorial?
A tutorial. So that's using the War World Scenic kits, and I've had some really great results with those. So a pair of 37s there. First one in BRD number green. Second one in Rail Freight grey. I'm going to say metal sector or something like that, or petroleum sector.
It's also worth noting the speed it's moving at. Because I do see that a lot with people saying, "Oh, you're running things too slow. Or you're running things too fast."
No, people say that actually. I run stuff at a good scale speed.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah.
So
now it's in. Oh, Billy's replacement Smokey Joe's.
So got that going past. Check out the semaphore signals as well in the background there.
SHGP says, skip to the second half of this for faster speed. Okay, more speed! Here we go. Is this the diesel thrash? Is this where we come in for the thrashing?
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, nice. That is a beautiful livery, actually. It's something that I'm not a huge fan of VR3, but on the 37 it does look good. Come on, put
this
your
is going
foot
fast
down.
enough to be a mega gronk.
Yeah, oh, there. You see the plume of black? The diesel smoke. He's put his foot down. Yeah, there you go. Come on.
Beep, beep.
Yeah. Peel some rubber, or should I say peel some metal off the wheels.
So I've got an interesting question here. Soda Danderman says, I saw a video of a signal box build described as scratch build, but it used a kit as the base. Does that count as a scratch build or not?
That would be a kit bashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll call that kit bashing. Scratch build is when you basically just take
raw materials.
Raw materials. So it's okay to get things like embossed. You get embossed in building materials, and then you cut out all the shapes of the building.
Yeah.
You can get things like window moldings. Ratio make some really good stuff for detailing. But certainly, if you're starting out with an actual kit, then basically what you're looking at is a kit bash, not a scratch build.
Yeah. Now, there's nothing wrong with kit bashing, but it's not scratch building.
Actually, I prefer kit bashing, to be honest.
I have no problem with that either.
I find it more fun, and I'm not great at building, so kit bashing is my personal choice, the way to go. Dongit's Model Railway says there was an actual Pullman in that train. It was nice to see that, and certainly the 37s did look good. And we are really looking forward to the new Acura Scale 37s, which I believe are on the high seas at the moment.
So what we've got here next up is from Charlie McGowan at Particle Hill Station,
so these
where
are
he's painting 3D printed skips.
So he's
now this will be fun.
It's one of the things that 3D printing has really opened up a lot of possibilities. So what he's doing now is he's doing the painting. So we've got
Burnt umber.
Burnt umber's great.
Yes, you can use it for so many things.
And also sienna. Umber and sienna. They're actually it's a type of mineral they got from the ground. So you can get raw umber and burnt umber. And raw umber I think is yellow. Burnt umber is more of this sort of brown colour.
No one ever does a properly cooked umber. It's always raw or burnt.
Can I just say there's some of the earliest paint pigments that have ever been discovered. There's actually prehistoric cave paintings which use raw and burnt umber and also sienna, burnt sienna and raw sienna.
If it's from stuff like that, yeah, I can imagine.
And they're kind of minerals.
Oh, that reminds me of talking of cave paintings. I saw a brilliant cartoon of a caveman who was painting a horse and cart onto a wall, and his wife came in and said, "When are you going to stop living in dream world? Put aside this science fiction nonsense and get out there and get us some food."
Yeah, get out there and get us a mammoth.
A horse and cart was once sci-fi.
Ginty Steam says, "Oh, Jenny, could you please show us the lever frame you have for your model railway? I noticed it in the background of other videos and thought it looked pretty impressive."
Oh, it's on that video, yeah. Oh, right,
I did do a full video on its install and detailing. So if you look back through the channel, you will find a full video on that install, which does explain how it works. They're the DCC Concepts Cobalt S levers. But yeah, at some point I need to do a new...
What is he pouring onto this paint?
What do you mean pouring on?
Every time he's done a side, he's started that white container at the back. He sprinkles a bit on. Is it some kind of texture?
It could be. You can get a really good texture using something like talcum powder. And it just gives a kind of crusty texture.
Right, that would make sense. Especially for something like industrial and...
So this yellow is... I don't know why skips... I suspect it's so that when they're on the side of the road, yellow is a really good colour for
your brain spots it quickly.
Yeah, and it's why wasp stripes work on things like diesel shunters.
It keeps pouring stuff on. What is it?
I missed that. What is it?
It's very interesting. But you see, he's put the base coat of the brown on.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's not painted every single piece of that thing.
Well, that's kind of like the rust coming through.
Yeah, so he's got his base coat and he's got his rust coat at the same time.
Well, it's one of the things you can do is you paint the whole model as rust. You can then...
it's salt.
Right.
So,
yes.
So it is a texture thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So what you do is that salt, then you can basically crunch off the paint over the top, and it reveals the rust colour underneath.
Is so clever.
Right, I'm with you. I understand that now. Yeah. Worthington Model Railway there says you can put salt on and rub it off. It looks like rust.
Amazing.
So the burnt sienna, burnt umber is the rust colour.
Yes, but it's also his base coat.
Yes, yes. So Timber Surf, great to see you. Says got to run. Ciao for now. Look, you take care, and hopefully see you. I didn't see you in the chat before. Must have been lurking, but it's great to see you. And take care, and hopefully see you again next week.
That is.
So
I'm going to skip this on now. I'm going to have a look at how it goes.
Yeah, let's see how these turn. I need to know how it turns out. Oh, blue ones.
Yeah, he's got different colours. So let's jump it on a bit. I've put the link in.
Oh, so this is now.
Oh.
Like
so now he's getting.
That's
his,
weathering powders.
Yeah.
So this is to make it like sort of used.
Yeah.
They're turning out really
These
nice.
look amazing.
A little bit of green now as well. So that's more of like a verdigris.
Oh my goodness. These
And this
look
is great for bringing
so
out some of
good.
the texture. Yeah, I like these.
Wow. There you are, Jen.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
They have turned out really, really well. 3D printed. I always say that...
The stuff
oh,
that you
actually,
can get
Charlie
from 3D
McGowan,
printing.
Patrick Hill Station says the base coat was grey. So they've been
Oh,
painted with primer first, a grey
Right.
primer. Right.
That makes a lot of sense. A good primer before you start.
Mm.
That is fantastic. Wow. I am super impressed. That is so well done.
Mm. I do like that. Really, and there we are.
Oh my god. And then the bits stuff in it. Oh.
Skips, I mean, skips go way, way back. So they're a good
That
addition
is
to
so good.
many layouts.
So good.
So thank you so much for sharing this. Oh, I love the scrapyard.
Oh, that is good.
Always love a good scrapyard.
Brilliant.
So
Thank you.
so, so much. Melchester Model Row asks, "Hi Zoe, wondered if you received the vid I sent last week."
Which one? Who, sorry?
Melchester Model Railway.
Right, we're up to all the ones that came in today. So,
We need to step on it. We're nearly at 9.
if it came in last week, I'll check my spam folder. But I
Trying to do a search for Monday Club. One thing I will always say is always put Monday Club in the subject.
I'm sorry to
line.
say I don't see it. I don't even know who I'd be looking for this.
Well, anyway, we've got time for one more video.
I
so-
don't think I got it. Can you send? Oh,
You found it?
I found one. So that's marked as not spam.
Okay. When's that from? Recent?
It will have been last week.
Right.
Which means I've
So,
got to go down now.
so this is from Christopher Matthews. Yeah,
Trains.
this is it. Melchester Model Railway. There
There you are. So
We
yes,
just found
We
it.
have now. Sorry about that.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to bring that up, and this unfortunately will be our last video. Even though we sang, I think next week as well, we need to start 15 minutes early because we're getting more and more sent in. So it's one of the things that unfortunately we become overwhelmed by the success of this feature.
Yeah. So this is from Melchester.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put the
So
link.
this is the smoke generator locos arrive and depart. Depart.
Here we go. Can you bring it up? Beep beep.
Okay, toot toot. So we got the not only the rain effect, but look at the water dripping off the gutter.
Yes.
That's
Very
quite
nice
clever.
animation there. As an animator myself, I do appreciate this.
So I like the terrier in original improved engine green lurking in the shed.
Oh, very nice.
Absolutely. Is that a C class?
I don't know.
Yeah. Really nicely done. I like your point rodding as well. Really good.
Oh, here's another one. Whoa, that is excellent smoke effect.
That's a 9F. Oh, actually really well done.
Yeah.
What animation package do you use to do this? Because this is actually really effective.
Yeah, this is really, really done. Well done.
Yeah, as Ruben Ashwell says, nice rain effects. Dongus Model Railway says, I sent one in today at about 6 p.m. Model Railway Noob says, I sent my video on the 10th, and this will be the third Monday it's missed.
On the 10th?
10th.
I will have a look for it.
We will have a good look. Unfortunately, we're running out of time this week, but next week I think we're going to have to start and do a full hour.
Yeah, we'll start it out.
So next week we'll do a full hour, try and get back up to date. We'll do a search of the spam folder and everything, and we'll try and locate any of the missing videos that have been sent in. Oh, a lovely retaining wall. That is nice. I'm sure we've seen a train chase, camera chase video on this layout.
I think we have. I like the way he's got the curved wall here.
Very neat
cool.
track work. I do approve. Really nice. And see, they've got the smoke coming from the house chimneys as well. Really effective.
So lucky to not get water on the lens.
Melchester Model Railway says just done in Windows 10 video editing.
Wow.
Gosh, very effective.
Yeah. I'm really loving the way he's got these effects.
Absolutely. Really, really well done. And Jerry BVR says, Rail Cowgirl's latest video has some serious snowdrift action. And Nigel Cole says, lucky not to get water on the lens.
I've already said that and you laughed at it.
I know, I laugh at yeah. Melchester Mother Rose says it's a 700 class. That was going to be my second choice.
Oh, I am enjoying this.
And Jennifer Garrett says the Midland Railway were the first to use Pullman cars in the UK, and the body of one of their first cars is a grounded body at Butterley, next door to the Tugs exhibition coach. It's called Midland. Oh, brilliant. And really, really nice there. So don't forget as well to tickle that like button if you haven't already done so. Share the stream to social media. Let other people know about the Monday Club, where all are welcome to get their weekly dose of all things model rail. And if you haven't already done so, then do
Manchester says some of the smoke's real and some's digital.
I wondered about that. The 9F I thought was real.
That was very, very well done.
Let's just there we go.
Okay, I'm going to try and find that one that was sent on the 10th. So if you could just hang on a minute, Jen. Okay, we're going to try and then find that video from the 10th. So we are assuming it's got lost in the spam folder. Unfortunately, it's got to have, otherwise I'd have
Gmail is not very good at being told what's spam and what's not.
It used to be, but a lot of the problem these days is that spammers got wise to how it works.
Yeah. Anfield Road Layout in the Loft says, good stream on your channel, thank you so much. RIP to Somerset Andy. Thanks for the good stream. Stay safe and night all. You take care, and obviously
got it.
We found it. We have found the video. So we're going to play that as a final one.
Just going a quick look to make sure. Yeah, there was. It's the only one from the Mark Monday Club that was in spam. Right, so we have found the Errant video. So we're going to, because that's 3 weeks late now. Yeah. So where will that be? You might have to go back a little way. Where's it gone? There it is.
So, right, one final video. We are a little bit over time, but this is from Michael, and this is, I hope you're both well. Yes, we are. Thank you very much. I recently joined... Oh, well, I was reading that, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you were, but I'm trying to grab the URL.
I recently joined a model railway club, and I've really enjoyed it. It is great to be able to have longer trains running and see other people's trains. I was never interested in high-speed passenger trains, but my mind has been changed. And this is from Model Railway Noob. We have tracked down your video, so we're going to do this as a final one tonight, and then next week I think we're going to have to go for an hour just to get through the backlog.
Absolutely.
It's nice that it's been a very popular feature, but we're probably going to have to...
What is going on with this computer tonight?
It doesn't like you.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So here we go.
Okay, so this is...
Wow, look at that.
That is a lovely model. I like the back gardens. Really, really nice. Good lighting too. So that's an N class by the look of it. Van wides, grain wagons. Some really nice wagons going on in there. Oh wow, bowled by a fast APT. J. Paul Anderson says, "Where are the monkey build videos?"
In the buffer.
They're in the buffer. We're about 2 months ahead in terms of.
Jenny decided that since she was having a week off, she would festoon me with stuff to edit.
I've still got to film the concert iron ore hopper video as well.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
That is nice. With the ladder junction using
Whoa.
the single slips.
Beep, beep.
Really nice.
Oh, I love the
And
gardens
again, this
and
is
the conservatory.
as
the
they
greenhouse.
say, this is the beauty of a club layout. You can run some really long trains on really huge layouts. I mean, look at that. There's what, 1, 2, 3, at least 4 trains able to run at the same time there. With some, I think they're bullied coaches. Look at that. Some really
cool.
nice vegetation and gardens in that with those houses. Really nice. The lighting is superb too. You can also see the difference in colour between mainline ballast and the dross that would be in the sidings.
That is so nicely done.
Peter Jackson asks, any good videos coming up this week, Jenny? Oh, of course. Well, we're going to be having on Wednesday the TMC interview that we did when we went to visit TMC over near Goathland in North Yorkshire. And really, really great to sit down and have a good long chat with Alex Yates about the company as a whole, the origin of the company, but also in terms of things like the all-new graffiti service that they now offer. And we're going to be having a full video on that the following week. On Friday, we're looking to put out, it'll be the Pico Small England video. We've put it off and put it off because lots and lots of stuff's come in. We've done the rails thing, Stackpole Barn thing, which has pushed it back in the buffer. So we're going to get that out on Friday as well.
All those realistic woods. That is amazing.
I love the Lumberyard. Another good cheap tip for you is that if you find sticks and stuff out and about, you can cut them into nice lengths and they look just like real logs in smaller scales.
Yeah.
And again, it's just free, absolutely free.
Yeah.
Stevie films us how rude. Every Jenny video is good. Oh, thank you so much. Well, we knew what he meant.
I'm not sure about that. Some of our very, very old ones don't quite.
Yeah, don't look at the old
standards, do they?
Model Railway Noob says, thanks for showing the video. You're welcome. Just so sorry it got caught up somewhere in the spam folder. But
I have a look every now and again to try and make sure that I don't miss them, but
absolutely.
I don't know why
but
I missed
there we go. Anyway, next week we're probably going to do for about an hour with your videos. But it's the end of the stream, so it's just got time for me to say thank you ever so much for joining us for this weekly dose of the Monday Club. It's so great to catch up with you guys and for everybody just hang out in our virtual Model Railway Club. So good to have you all in. If you haven't already done so, do please tickle the like button, share the stream, and also subscribe to the channel to be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. And also don't forget that you can check out our full merch store in the box down below. And that's where you get all of the great t-shirts and hoodies like Gronk It Up, Do You DMU, My Railway, My Rules, and of course, Billy's Replacement Speakers.
Billy!
As modelled here by our very own resident monkey. So, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. It just got time for me to say you all take great care of yourself. And until next time, take care. Bye for now.
The train now departing is the 2107 service to Pennsylvania, stopping at Grove Street Yard, Beneftatis, Bolton Trinity Road. That one unnamed layout for one of the early videos on Jen's channel, Eindhoven, and then on to Pennsylvania. That's the 2107 service to Pennsylvania. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night.